an incredibly tense situation in which you want to, in this position, with white playing king f3 and seemingly wasting a tempo and planning to bring the king into the midst of a very sharp endgame. The idea of wasting 2 tempi to exchange a couple of pieces might seem slow to you on a psychological level simply. It might seem to you that you should be looking for the sharpest options available. But yeah, it did seem like attacking the f6 knight here was a very, very decent choice. So what about knight h5? Just to finish with this.
Okay, in general, I don't like white's position because okay, if it was with rook on b1, then okay, maybe black is getting some extra tempi for king b7, c6, and now white can straightly go for some breakthroughs. So in general,
I mean, bishop c5. I just want to go f4, gf. I want to take with a knight. And take once again with a knight. And even with the bishop on c5, I think you will not be able to take because this is a huge, huge
so you should play bishop a6, but I mean
something like
this shouldn't work.
Rook
e2, I think is fine.
Rook e2, kind of bishop takes e2 is a decent move. That was my problem as well. I wanted to play rook e2, but
okay, rook c2.
Look, no. Yes. Isn't this beautiful? Check. Check.
King e7.
Take.
Bishop b7.
I don't know. Beautiful, but probably doesn't work. Yeah, rook f7, rook d8.
Okay, it's beautiful, but I mean,
I was so proud of my idea.
If
but
it's not losing, then it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm probably in trouble here with white.
Still not in such a trouble. I think e6 works.
But also maybe e6 here to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Black is completely tied up, and
that's just crazy.
So knight h5 is one idea. h4, as Jan suggested, is also quite sensible, I think. And frankly speaking, white, we are trying to find a forced solution here for white. But if you just consider this calmly, black does not have a threat currently. His next move probably is king b7. If
or
he's
bishop c5.
Or bishop c5, but
both doesn't make any huge sense. I think Magnus can also try something like king d3, king c2, king b3.
Yeah, that was
it's still okay. Then,
but then actually king b7 after king c2, c6, you lose the e5 pawn.
Yeah.
Which makes a huge difference to the evaluation of the position. So
previous vicious play.
Yeah, this would actually justify all that went on before, but yeah. And also Magnus's approach here will be interesting because I think his position is quite safe and he doesn't need to hurry. So if he chooses something like h4 here, it means that for him as well, he wants to. It's sort of easier to play this in a concrete fashion so that you can start calculating variations.
Yeah, because in general the position is not so, from a strategical point of view, okay. The position of black is very good.
It's a weird position, yeah. It's a weird position in that white is a full exchange up, but it's very hard to find active plans for.
I really like h4. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's look at this again.
You know, it looks like some kind of a try to win on spot.
Sorry. H4. Well, can we completely ignore it? But then you'll play h5 probably.
Yes,
let's say if I go king b7, you probably play h5. Yeah, this doesn't look attractive at all. Because I mean, if I have to play knight f4, which I probably have to, because knight e7, you probably play f4 anyway.
No, but this is.
Yeah, this white is getting too far ahead here. So h4, knight h4, f4.
h5 has been played. Your move.
Yeah, my move.
Won the contest.
Knight h5 was also, I mean, it seemed very, very natural to me because you do feel with white that in order to claim a large advantage, you need to do something before black plays king b7 and c6. If the knight is driven back from d5, black's position will look much, much better.
Mm-hmm. But the trick is after c6, maybe at some point we can try to sacrifice his knight.
Yes, in some positions,
c6. Some position it might work.
Yeah, but right now,
okay, not right now.
Black doesn't even have the option.
Yeah,
but maybe hang on a second. Can we do this? Because with the king on b7, I will definitely take on c4 with the bishop. My point is,
at least you're not losing after this exchange.
Yeah, at least I maybe am forcing you to take with the king. And then
Okay,
I will play
let's say
c6.
if I take with my knight on f4, I just want to check something.
Rook
And I play
where?
rook d7.
That also makes sense, yes.
So it looks like you're more or less forced to go for b3 stuff and so on, but this is... Okay, I don't believe it might work. It will work. I mean, even a rook d4 here wins b3 pawn. Probably.
Yes, that's a nice move. What's the immediate threat is rook c1, right?
Yes, okay, you can play king c6, I think.
Rook d4.
And bishop, okay, let's say bishop b3,
But I think I will get into some kind of tactical trouble here, no?
obviously, obviously you will.
Something like
King b7 has been played.
King b7 has been played, and it does make sense because you want to
Yeah, that's probably the only sensible move right now.
you want to dodge this pin along the c file so that at least white will have to consider twice if he wants to take on f4 with a knight.
Okay, if the position remains calm, okay, then maybe Vishy's idea will work, but
Well, let's check the most quiet approach. I take with the king, and after c6 I play knight e3.
okay, this is good,
How good?
very good. I mean, okay,
Good to equalize or good to play for all three?
good to
results?
equalize for whom? I mean, okay, here I can play king b6, king c5, bishop e7. I have plenty of play.
I like this a lot. Yeah.
Okay, this is
Maybe
what
even start with no. Hang on.
this is probably what Vishy was aiming for when he made for this crazy idea.
Yeah.
Okay, you can try h4, let's say, in case of bishop e7, something like
Knight
knight
f5.
f5.
Yeah.
But okay, here I can
Let's
start with king
Let's
c5.
start with king c5. Yeah.
And maybe b3 now is some kind of my next move.
Yeah, it's a kind of a position where, the evaluation objectively, I guess, if
Okay, f4.
f4 has been played objectively, let's say if white is a machine probably converts here.
Yeah.
You have a feeling that machine with
Okay,
exact
machine
play
always converts.
probably converts here, but in a human against human game, especially when the stakes are so high, this is a tricky position to play, a very tricky position to play for both players. Well, obviously c6 f5 is impossible, so you take on f4, and Vishy did take with a pawn, but I don't think it makes much difference what you take with, because
So, okay, I think the next couple of moves is
yeah, knight h takes.
More or less
Vishy will snap on f4, and then the first big question.
I don't know, maybe this bluff will work because Magnus still wants to
Yeah, we'll see in a second, because
play solid.
king takes f4 is an attempt to keep everything under control, and knight takes f4 is an attempt to win on the spot. We don't currently know if it works or not, but it's the more ambitious of the two, the more testing of the two. So
So
Magnus's next
an
move will be
interesting moment.
an indication of what he thinks about this position. "15 minutes for Magnus against 18 for Vishy, but
Only 7 or 8 moves left.
Only 8 moves left, so
Yeah, so-
we don't expect
Hopefully,
huge time trouble
yeah,
today.
this game will pass the time control.
Yeah. There shouldn't be time pressure should not be a huge factor.
without huge losses.
Yeah, I mean the temptation to do something like this must be huge, because if this works, this is crushing.
Maybe just rook c8 here. Maybe the threats are not so.
Knight takes. So
Wow.
Magnus is going for, the immediate conversion. Bishop takes c4 is, well, strictly the only. You can't not take on c4 here. Your entire previous idea makes no sense if you don't take on c4 here.
Yeah.
I mean, something like king c6
What is this?
prolongs the game, but white should be able to. White should be able to convert from here. I think it's.
Yeah, okay, it's just a full exchange.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay, you should.
If there's
you
an
should
immediate
check.
problem with this, then you shouldn't play it. But I don't see any way for white to win on the spot. So, generally speaking, you should be picking up this pawn.
Okay, rook d7.
Yeah, rook d4 immediately makes.
Rook d4
Less.
just bishop
Bishop
b3.
b3,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's some
Okay,
kind
rook
of
d7, and now rook
feedback.
c8, or maybe
Yeah,
bishop
the interesting
b3.
point that after rook c8 I don't have this. I thought maybe I can try to play knight d5, but suddenly king c6 is somewhat unpleasant. So
Yeah, but we
Black
don't
should play
we
in-
don't we
okay,
don't really.
this-
Yeah, bishop takes c4 has been played, so
yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
the game is now developing very very fast. And rook d7
Rook d7 has been played, yeah.
at tempo, so you were correct about that. Options for black. King c6 we discussed briefly. It doesn't seem to be.
Okay, b3 would be a good option. If not, it's losing after.
There's probably
pawn after
mate,
rook
yeah.
d4. No, I thought here we can play b2 and maybe even.
Ah no, b1
bishop
is a
f3.
bit of a check. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we could play just rook d4 and rook b1 and win this pawn. That
rook
was
rook
the trick
d4.
I actually told about.
Yeah, well, I forget. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, this is crushing because
This
the bishop
is not an option.
cannot stay on the diagonal, and after let's say bishop b4, rook b1, the b pawn is just picked up, and
Fine.
then it's a,
it's not absolutely lost right now, but okay, it should be lost.
isn't it? No, I think.
Okay, I will play c5 on the next move. I
But
like
then
this.
rook d7 check takes on f7. And this is
Okay, maybe. Okay, it's not done.
yeah, this is
Even
bad.
the fork on.
No, b3
doesn't work.
b3 simply doesn't work. So it's either rook c8, king c6. Is there any point to rook e8?
Rook e8 is interesting. And what if you play rook c1?
And now
King
king
c8,
c8.
wow.
Yeah, that was my big idea.
That's a good trick, I must say. That's very interesting.
But probably
I would even-
it probably loses to e6, unfortunately.
I don't think it's losing.
That's the big problem with my suggestion.
What's
because
wrong?
after f6 I play rook h7. I suddenly have a square on the 7th.
Okay, at least I can play here bishop d5, so I
Yeah, but bishop
going
d5
to resign,
Uh,
at least right now.
takes.
Okay, bishop d6, rook
Bishop
takes
d6.
h6. Rook takes h6 doesn't work because of bishop f4, suddenly.
Yeah,
Well, this,
but
that might
it
work.
feels like
But this is not dangerous, I think rook e6.
what?
Rook.
This is not dangerous.
Yeah, just a check. Or maybe it is. Okay, we're
Well,
first.
you do have rook f6, but
Okay, this is.
yeah, this feels
maybe,
like
maybe this is dangerous.
it is a
I
bit
should
it is a
admit,
bit
I should
dangerous.
admit.
Yeah. So rook e8 is a candidate, but we're not currently sure if it works or not.
Yeah, rook e8 is fun.
So let's at least continue looking for options for black. Can we play bishop b3?
Yeah, start with this move. But here I think knight d5 is very unpleasant. Because it almost makes us to give away this bishop
And
on
if we
d5.
go rook c8, just
simply rook c1.
just rook c1, yeah. And we can't afford allowing rook takes c7.
Yeah, because also f7
and this
will
is
fall.
this is horribly passive and should be.
This is just also because e5 pawn will promote much faster. Yeah, just rook c6 here.
Back. You currently cannot take on f7, but yeah, you can continue.
Mm-hmm. Too passive.
Black has almost no moves here. Yeah. Now this looks unpleasant. And this also applies to rook c8 then, because I play rook c1, and we are headed towards this very position.
Yeah.
Unless you want to play bishop e6, but bishop e6 is a bit of a sad choice.
Probably it's currently the only choice. But
Yeah, maybe it's the best move in the position, but this doesn't look like something.
It doesn't look like it will prolong the game.
Yeah, no, g pawn gets to g7 very
Yeah,
fast.
that's incredible.
Yeah. And
That's just incredible.
b3 is always met with rook b1.
What did we should think that he decided to transpose
Yeah,
into?
that is
That's absolutely incredible.
a startling turn of events, to be honest.
Just stunning.
Yeah, because there was no obvious necessity for this to happen. We couldn't really work out just how much black was better there after king f3, but it was quite clear that black was the one playing for a win.